Like I said, viewers, many unanswered questions. Let's put them there. What was the motive behind the attack? Till now, there is very little clarity on what was the motive behind the attack. Was this just plain a burglary gone wrong, or was this a targeted attack on Saif Ali Khan? The attack meticulously planned, or was this just instant rage? That's another question that's coming to light. Did the attacker have an accomplice, or was he just a lone wolf? And does SRK House's recce point to a bigger plot? Were they the same person, or were they two very different individuals? Let's take all these questions right now to our panelists this evening. Joining me, PK Jain, ex-additional DGP, Special Operations, Maharashtra. We have Sanjay Sahai, former IPS officer. We'll also be joined by our other guests very soon. But Mr. Jain, you know, right now there are multiple questions that remain unanswered on what really happened on that night at Saif Ali Khan's residence. Number one, would you give us, some semblance of where the investigations stand? Because it's been over 40 hours with what little information that is coming out is that the cops are still clueless. This man was hanging around at the Bandra railway station till about 8 a.m. the next morning. And till now, the cops really don't know, leave alone motive on where this person is.
Good evening, Kriti. Thank you very much for having me on the show today. It is, to my mind, it is a burglary which has gone wrong. The person had basically entered the house. There are so many other questions which are still unanswered. My studied guess is that there has to be an accomplice inside the building because, his access to the building, his avoiding the cameras, his actions. You've been already analyzing all these things. So I find that it all is not possible unless there's an accomplice inside. Now, where that accomplice could be, whether it is the household of Saif Ali Khan, or it is some other resident, or the security personnel in the building. CCTVs have not been able to capture the other movements except those two movements on the staircase. All these things point out to some kind of an involvement. As far as the investigation is concerned, I think the police are already on their job, right from the chief minister of the state to the DCP of the area. Everybody has been making statements. The fact is that now we have got a face. It is only a question of catching and pinning that face. Apparently, he is not on the police record because otherwise his entire Kundli would have been known by now. He is apparently not on the police record. And, the way you are already flashing his face on the screen, I'm sure that some clue is going to come from the public also as to where this guy could be or where he is at the moment. It may take time. The police are already working under a lot of pressure to solve the case. I'm sure that it will take some time to nab him because, number one, he is, as far as today, as on date, he is an anonymous character to the police. He has committed an offense, yet apparently he's not on the police record, he's not on the police dossier. So it will take some time for
the police. But the sheer fact, understandably, the police, the Mumbai police is one of the best in the business, and they need some time to possibly crack the case and get in the leads. But would you reckon that along with the Bandra police station, because that is, under the charge where the case is being investigated, you also have the likes of Daya Nayak, who's handling the case. He's an encounter specialist. He's dealt with the underworld. Would you think that itself raises questions, or would you think that's just routine? They just want the case sorted out at the earliest.
See, in cases like this, Preeti, generally the police take the help of the best of their own. Now, see, there's an angle of technical intelligence in this. The entire dump data is being checked at the moment. Whether there are any phone calls that can be traced, any numbers that can be connected, all that exercise is going on in the background. CCTVs are being checked. Daya Nayak has had, and I believe that even today, has a very good set of informants. And a lot of police work is based on the informants. So they have brought a guy who knows the crime scene in the city, who has worked on very sterling cases. And I'm sure that he's going to exercise and, activate his network again and get some clues about the existence of this person and who he is. So bringing in Daya Nayak is probably from that angle that every avenue in the crime detection has to be used, whether it is human intelligence or technical intelligence or your personal contact or your personal set of informants. I think Daya Nayak has come in because of that.
All right, Sanjay Sahai, what do you make of it? For somebody with all the experience that you have, is this a burglary gone wrong? Because many people are also questioning the fact that if you want to rob a celebrity's house, then you do it at a point where the celebrities aren't really at home. If it was an insider job, they've just come back after a holiday, where they were away for weeks at end. If this was an insider job and a burglary at play together, timing could have been better for them.
See, we are talking about burglary and we are talking about theft. And side by side, simultaneously, we were also talking of abduction and ransom. So first, the exact crime has to be decided whether it is burglary or it is something sort of an abduction, and some ransom is being demanded for. Because the whole thing started with that 1 crore sort of a amount coming in between. So if the person is going there and when he has recceived the whole place. Now, one thing which is very intriguing is that the face is known and we have all the CCTV footages of that particular building. Why facial recognition has not been done on the earlier CCTV footages of last 10 days, 20 days or a month or so as to confidently come out with a judgment or a decision that this person has visited 5 times or 10 times before the incident actually took place. And having gone there, I don't think any burglar would get into the act of abduction and burglary both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the second most important part is that the identity of the person still remains unknown. We are not asking the identity from the Bombay police, but the point is they can tell us whether the identity has been established or not. If the identity gets established, lots of other nebulous areas that can find some shape. Other important thing, technical intelligence is being talked about. The state of technical intelligence is also very, very crazy. Now, is that house, does it have facial recognition? Somebody has put CCTV there. At the back entry, there are no CCTVs. And you see this accused, the way he has navigated through the whole thing. And if we have just 2 footages, one of say 1 minute or 30 seconds or whatever, and the gap between the two we are calculating as 55 minutes, and that is the time when he was there at the scene of offense. Correct. So he has appeared on the CCTV, but he could have been hanging around. So we don't know what has actually happened. But to get into operation of this nature without placing anybody to take care of his movement or the movement of anybody else in that area, and without proper planning, which means there are accomplices, there is a conspiracy which has been had, it is next to impossible. Then we come to the huge amount of CCTVs which we have in the country. And whether it's the police or it's any other agency, like in Delhi, the Delhi government has 1 lakh CCTV. Does facial recognition does not run on them? So if this face is put on the running CCTV at a real time and dynamic level, then how could this fellow hang around till 8 a.m.? Correct. See, the point is technical intelligence and the use of technology in the manner which we do. And the way we claim that we are putting technical intelligence, human intelligence, and variety of other things. The technical intelligence is itself failing because we are not able to connect the dots.
Sanjay Sahai, are you questioning the competence of the Mumbai police right now?
I am not questioning the competence of anybody. I am saying this is the state of technology which is being used in this country. I have done a research on 7 cities regarding CCTVs, public CCTVs, their effectiveness. And I'm sorry to say, but for Hyderabad, we did not find it effective anywhere. And I'm not brushing aside Bangalore also. And I'm a computer vision expert in my own right. So what I'm saying is that the CCTVs also, it needs to be iterated as per the present requirements.
Okay.
And I'm convinced of the fact that the level of artificial intelligence which is there in the public domain, I think it will help them to locate that face. And why should we limit it only to the police thing? There are faces all around the place. Faces.com is a website where you can check some 2 billion faces or whatever. So this has to be taken to the next level. Okay. I'm not talking about anybody's competence.
You guys
I'm
are
saying what is available.
Fair point. You've been the best in the business. And before we move on, because, as laymen, we have multiple questions and multiple theories. But, I'll give it to the both of you. Mr. Jain, as per you, what's your gut? What do you think happened?
Sorry, could you please repeat your question, Preeti?
What's your gut, sir? What do you think happened?
I think the purpose was only burglary. Apparently, the members of the family or the nanny, as they say, got up by hearing some noise, and this person was cornered. And when when Saif Ali Khan and other people tried to apprehend him, that is when he became violent. And the kind of knife that he was carrying was also a knife, which he plunged into Saif Ali Khan and it broke. So apparently, he had not gone there to cause any harm to the people. It was only a kind of a safety tool, which happens in many such cases. There are thousands of burglaries that take place in Mumbai and thousands more in the state. Thousands more in the state. So it is one of those cases which could have happened to any of the flats in the building, because they are all
Okay.
well-to-do people staying in that building. So it could have been anybody, could have been a victim. In this case, it was Saif Ali Khan.
All
All
right.
other things, whether he had done a recce or otherwise, all will be probably found out only when there is some definitive clue to detecting this case, and one
Okay.
of the accused is apprehended.
Mr.
And we
Sahai.
have to wait for that.
All right, Mr. Sahai, what's your gut in midst of all of this?
I will not take it as kidnapping with ransom. So that is straight away ruled out, that 1
Do you
crore.
think it could also be a deranged fan acting as a lone wolf?
See, lone wolf business cannot be sorted out till finally we get the lone wolf. So before that, it is very difficult to comment on the psychological state of that particular person as to what transpired and why he did that. What Mr. Jain has been talking about, that it is a burglary which has gone haywire. So until we get the accused and we get all the accomplices, and from a police point of view, as police officers, we would like to believe that it is a burglary gone haywire. But the nature of offences which happen all around the place today, there are things which 1 in a billion chance, those things also happen. Until the time there is a definitive proof that it is a burglary and only burglary and nothing else,
Okay.
I think I will keep a part of my reservations with me. Because what many things have happened.
Okay.
Baba Siddiqui has happened, Mannat has happened. There are lots of things which have happened.
All
And
right.
there are undercurrents which we might not be familiar with the public domain knowledge.
Fair point. That's why I raised the question of Mr. Dayanayak also being made, charge and launching a parallel, investigation in all of that. But I appreciate both of you gentlemen for taking up the time and joining us this evening. Thank you.
Kritik.
Thank you. Appreciate it.